Psalm 73 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book, Psalm 73. A Psalm of Asaph. Truly God is good to Israel, to such as are of a pure heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the arrogant, seeing the prosperity of the wicked. For they have no pangs in their death, and their body is well nourished. They have not the hardships of mankind, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride encompasseth them as a neck chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out from fatness. They exceed the imaginations of their heart. They mock and speak wickedly of oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth in the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people turn hither, and waters in fullness are wrung out to them. And they say, How can God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the wicked, and they prosper in the world. They heap up riches. Truly, I have purified my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day I have been plagued, and chastened every morning. If I said, I will speak thus, behold, I should be faithless to the generation of thy children. When I thought to be able to know this, it was a grievous task in mine eyes. Until I went into the sanctuaries of God, then understood I their end. Truly thou settest them in slippery places, thou castest them down in ruins. How are they suddenly made desolate? They pass away, consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh, wilt thou, Lord, on arising despise their image. When my heart was in ferment, and I was pricked in my reins, then was I brutish, I knew nothing. I was as a beast with thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden my right hand. Thou wilt guide me by thy counsel, and after the glory thou wilt receive me. Whom have I in the heavens? And there is none upon earth I desire beside thee. My flesh and my heart faileth. God is the rock of my heart, and my portion forever. For behold, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou destroyest every one that goeth a whoring from thee. But as for me, it is good for me to draw near to God. I have put my trust in the Lord Jehovah, that I may declare all thy works. End of Psalm 73. Psalm 74 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book, Psalm 74. An instruction of Asaph. Why, O God, hast thou cast off forever? Why doth thine anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture? Remember thine assembly, which thou hast purchased of old, which thou hast redeemed to be the portion of thine inheritance, this Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt. Lift up thy steps unto the perpetual desolations. Everything in the sanctuary hath the enemy destroyed. Thine adversaries roar in the midst of thy place of assembly. They set up their signs for signs. A man was known as he could lift up axes in the thicket of trees, and now they break down its carved work altogether, with hatchets and hammers. They have set on fire thy sanctuary. They have profaned the habitation of thy name to the ground. They said in their heart, Let us destroy them together. They have burned up all God's places of assembly in the land. We see not our signs. There is no more any prophet, neither is there among us any that knoweth how long. How long, O God, shall the adversary reproach? Shall the enemy contemn thy name forever? Why withdrawest thou thy hand, and thy right hand? Pluck it out of thy bosom, consume them. But God is my King of old, accomplishing deliverances in the midst of the earth. Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou didst break the heads of the monsters on the waters. Thou didst break in pieces the heads of Leviathan. Thou gavest him to be meat to those that people the desert. Thou didst cleave fountain and torrent. Thou driedst up ever-flowing rivers. The day is thine, the night also is thine. Thou hast prepared the moon and the sun. Thou hast set all the borders of the earth. Summer and winter thou didst form them. Remember this, that an enemy hath reproached Jehovah, and a foolish people have contemned thy name. Give not up the soul of thy turtle-dove unto the wild beast. Forget not the troop of thine afflicted forever. Have respect unto the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are full of the dwellings of violence. O let not the oppressed one return ashamed. Let the afflicted and needy praise thy name. Rise up, O God, plead thine own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproacheth thee all the day. Forget not the voice of thine adversaries. The tumult of those that rise up against thee ascendeth continually. End of Psalm 74. Psalm 75 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, the third book. Psalm 75. To the chief musician, destroy not, a psalm of Asaph, a song. Unto thee we give thanks, O God, we give thanks, and thy name is near. Thy marvelous works declare it. When I shall receive the assembly, I will judge with equity. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I have established its pillars. Selah. I said unto the boastful, Boast not. And to the wicked, Lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not arrogantly with a stiff neck. For not from the east, nor from the west, nor yet from the south, doth exaltation come. For God is the judge. He putteth down one, and exalteth another. For in the hand of Jehovah there is a cup, and it foameth with wine. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out the same. Yea, the dregs thereof shall all the wicked of the earth drain off and drink. But as for me, I will declare forever. I will sing psalms to the God of Jacob. And all the horns of the wicked will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. End of Psalm 75. Psalm 76 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, third book. Psalm 76. To the chief musician, on stringed instruments, a psalm of Asaph, a song. In Judah is God known, his name is great in Israel, and in Salem is his tent, and his dwelling place in Zion. There broke he the flashings of the bow, shield and sword, and battle. Selah. More glorious art thou, more excellent than the mountains of prey. The stout-hearted are made a spoil. They have slept their sleep, and none of the men of might have found their hands. At thy rebuke, O God of Jacob, both chariot and horse are cast into a dead sleep. Thou art to be feared, and who can stand before thee when once thou art angry? Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from the heavens. The earth feared and was still, when God rose up to judgment to save all the meek of the earth. Selah. For the fury of man shall praise thee. The remainder of fury wilt thou gird on thyself. Vow and pay unto Jehovah your God. Let all that are round about him bring presents unto him that is to be feared. He cutteth off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. End of Psalm 76.
Psalm 77 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by ShrimpPhish. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book. Psalm 77. My voice is unto God, and I will cry. My voice is unto God, and he will give ear unto me. In the day of my trouble I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night, and slacked not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God, and I moaned. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. Selah. Thou holdest open mine eyelids. I am full of disquiet, and cannot speak. I consider the days of old, the years of ancient times. I remember my song in the night. I muse in mine own heart, and my spirit maketh diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Hath his loving kindness ceased forever? Hath his word come to an end from generation to generation? Hath God forgotten to be gracious, or hath he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Selah. Then said I, This is my weakness, the years of the right hand of the Most High. Will I remember the works of Jah, for I will remember thy wonders of old. And I will meditate upon all thy work, and muse upon thy doings. O God, thy way is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as God? Thou art the God that doest wonders. Thou hast declared thy strength among the peoples. Thou hast with thine arm redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. The waters saw thee, O God, the waters saw thee. They trembled, yea, the depths were troubled. The thick clouds poured out water, the sky sent out a sound, yea, thine arrows went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in the whirlwind, lightnings lit up the world. The earth was troubled, and it quaked. Thy way is in the sea, and thy paths are in the great waters, and thy footsteps are not known. Thou leddest thy people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. End of Psalm 77. Psalm 78 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by ShrimpPhish. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book. Psalm 78. An Instruction of Asaph. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter riddles from of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their sons, showing forth to the generation to come the praises of Jehovah, and his strength, and his marvelous works, which he hath done. For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, the children that should be born, that they might rise up and tell them to their children, and that they might set their hope in God, and not forget the works of God, but observe his commandments, and might not be, as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that prepared not their heart, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God. The sons of Ephraim, armed with bowmen, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of God, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his doings and his marvelous works which he had shown them. In the sight of their fathers had he done wonders in the land of Egypt, the field of Zoan. He clave the sea, and caused them to pass through, and made the waters to stand as a heap. And he led them with a cloud in the daytime, and all the night with the light of fire. He clave rocks in the wilderness, and gave them drink as out of the depths abundantly. And he brought streams out of the rock, and caused waters to run down like rivers. Yet they still went on sinning against him, provoking the Most High in the desert. And they tempted God in their heart by asking meat for their lust. And they spoke against God. They said, Is God able to prepare a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, and waters gushed out, and streams overflowed. Is he able to give bread also, or provide flesh for his people? Therefore Jehovah heard, and was wroth, and fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also went up against Israel, because they believed not in God, and confided not in his salvation, though he had commanded the clouds from above, and had opened the doors of the heavens, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them the corn of the heavens. Man did eat the bread of the mighty, he sent them provision to the full. He caused the east wind to rise in the heavens, and by his strength he brought the south wind. And he rained flesh upon them as dust, and feathered fowl as the sand of the seas. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. And they did eat, and were well filled. For that they lusted after he brought to them. They were not alienated from their lust, their meat was yet in their mouths, when the anger of God went up against them, and he slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. For all this they sinned still, and believed not in his marvelous works. And he consumed their days in vanity, and their years in terror. When he slew them, then they sought him, and returned and sought early after God. And they remembered that God was their rock, and God the Most High their Redeemer. But they flattered him with their mouth, and lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart was not firm toward him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he was merciful, he forgave the iniquity, and destroyed them not. But many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his fury. And he remembered that they were flesh, a breath that passeth away and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and grieve him in the desert? And they turned again, and tempted God, and grieved the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, the day when he delivered them from the oppressor. How he set his signs in Egypt, and his miracles in the field of Zoan, and turned their rivers into blood, and their streams that they could not drink. He sent dog flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. And he gave their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He killed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with hailstones. And he delivered up their cattle to the hail, and their flocks to thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, in distress, a mission of angels of woes. He made a way for his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. And he smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the firstfruits of their vigor in the tents of Ham. And he made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them safely, so that they were without fear, and the sea covered their enemies. And he brought them to his holy border, this mountain, which his right hand purchased. And he drove out the nations before them, and allotted them for an inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. But they tempted and provoked God the Most High, and kept not his testimonies. And they drew back and dealt treacherously like their fathers. They turned like a deceitful bow. And they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. God heard, and was wroth, and greatly abhorred Israel. And he forsook the tabernacle at Silo, the tent where he had dwelt among men, and gave his strength into captivity, and his glory into the hand of the oppressor, and delivered up his people unto the sword, and was very wroth with his inheritance. The fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not praised in nuptial song. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation. Then the Lord awoke, as one out of sleep, like a mighty man that shouteth aloud by reason of wine. And he smote his adversaries in the hinder part, and put them to everlasting reproach. And he rejected the tent of Joseph, and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built his sanctuary like the heights, like the earth which he hath founded forever. And he chose David his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. From following the suckling ewes he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. And he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and led them by the skillfulness of his hands. End of Psalm 78.
Psalm 79 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Krista Lee Thomas, Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd book, Psalm 79. A Psalm of Asaph. O God, the nations are come into thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem in heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowl of the heavens, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbors, a mockery and a derision to them that are round about us. How long, O Jehovah? Wilt thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? Pour out thy fury upon the nations that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that call not upon thy name. For they have devoured Jacob, and laid waste his habitation. Remember not against us the iniquities of our forefathers. Let thy tender mercies speedily come to meet us, for we are brought very low. Help us, O God of our salvation, because of the glory of thy name, and deliver us, and forgive our sins for thy name's sake. Wherefore should the nations say, Where is their God? Let the avenging of the blood of thy servants that is shed be known among the nations in our sight. Let the groaning of the prisoner come before thee. According to the greatness of thine arm, preserve those that are appointed to die, and render unto our neighbors sevenfold into their bosom their reproach, wherewith they have reproached thee, O Lord. And we, thy people, and the sheep of thy pasture, will give thanks unto thee forever. We will show forth thy praise from generation to generation. End of Psalm 79.
Psalm 80 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd book. Psalm 80. To the chief musician, on Soshanan Etuth of Asaph, a psalm. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, thou that leadest Joseph like a flock, thou that sittest between the cherubim, shine forth. Before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh, stir up thy strength and come to our deliverance. O God, restore us, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Jehovah, God of hosts, how long will thine anger smoke against the prayer of thy people? Thou hast fed them with the bread of tears, and given them tears to drink in large measure. Thou hast made us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies mock among themselves. Restore us, O God of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. Thou broughtest a vine out of Egypt. Thou didst cast out the nations and plant it. Thou preparedst space before it, and it took deep root and filled the land. The mountains were covered with its shadow, and the branches thereof were like cedars of God. It sent out its boughs unto the sea, and its shoot unto the river. Why hast thou broken down its fences, so that all who pass by the way do pluck it? The boar out of the forest doth waste it, and the beast of the field doth feed off it. O God of hosts, return, we beseech thee. Look down from the heavens, and behold, and visit this vine, even the stock which thy right hand hath planted, and the young plant thou madest strong for thyself. It is burned with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the rebuke of thy countenance. Let thy hand be upon the man of thy right hand, upon the Son of Man, whom thou hast made strong for thyself. So will we not go back from thee. Revive us, and we will call upon thy name. Restore us, O Jehovah, God of hosts. Cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. End of Psalm 80. Psalm 81 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book. Psalm 81. To the chief musician, upon the gittith, a psalm of Asaph. Sing ye joyously unto God our strength. Shout aloud unto the God of Jacob. Raise a song and sound the tambour, the pleasant harp with the lute. Blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the set time on our feast day. For this is a statute of Israel, an ordinance of the God of Jacob. He ordained it in Joseph for a testimony when he went forth over the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I knew not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were freed from the basket. Thou callest in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah. Hear my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel, if thou wouldest hearken unto me. There shall no strange god be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any foreign god. I am Jehovah, thy God, that bring thee up out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people hearkened not to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's stubbornness. They walked after their own counsels. O that my people had hearkened unto me, that Israel had walked in my ways. I would soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of Jehovah would have come cringing unto him, but their time would have been forever. And he would have fed them with the finest of wheat, yea, with honey out of the rock would have satisfied thee. End of Psalm 81. Psalm 82 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book. Psalm 82, a Psalm of Asaph. God standeth in the assembly of God. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unrighteously, and accept the person of the wicked? Selah. Judge the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the poor and needy. Deliver them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither do they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are moved. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all the nations. End of Psalm 82.
Psalm 83 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Julianne Thompson. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book. Psalm 83. A song, a psalm of Asaph. O God, keep not silence, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For behold, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee lift up the head. They take crafty counsel against thy people, and consult against thy hidden ones. They say, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, and let the name of Israel be mentioned no more. For they have consulted together with one heart. They have made an alliance together against thee. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites, Moab and the Hagarites, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, Philistia with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They are an arm to the sons of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as to Midian, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the torrent of Kishon, who were destroyed at Endor. They became as dung for the ground. Make their nobles as Oreb and as Zeb, and all their chiefs as Zebah and as Zalmunna. For they have said, Let us take to ourselves God's dwelling places in possession. O my God, make them like a whirling thing, like stubble before the wind. As fire burneth a forest, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire, so pursue them with thy tempest, and terrify them with thy whirlwind. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Jehovah. Let them be put to shame, and be dismayed forever, and let them be confounded and perish, that they may know that thou alone, whose name is Jehovah, art the Most High over all the earth. End of Psalm 83.
Psalm 84 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book. Psalm 84, to the chief musician, upon the gittith of the sons of Korah, a psalm. How amiable are thy tabernacles, O Jehovah of hosts! My soul longeth, yea, even fainteth, for the courts of Jehovah. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. Yea, the sparrow hath found a house, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she layeth her young. Thine altars, O Jehovah of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are they that dwell in thy house, and they will be constantly praising thee. Selah. Blessed is the man whose strength is in thee, they in whose heart are the highways. Passing through the valley of Baca, they make it a wellspring. Yea, the early rain covereth with blessings. They go from strength to strength. Each one will appear before God in Zion. Jehovah, God of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O God of Jacob. Selah. Behold, O God, our shield, and look upon the face of thine anointed. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I'd rather stand at the threshold of the house of my God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. For Jehovah Elohim is a sun and shield. Jehovah will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. Jehovah of hosts, blessed is the man that confideth in thee. End of Psalm 84.
Psalm 85 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Julianne Thompson. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book, Psalm 85. To the chief musician of the sons of Korah, a psalm. Thou hast been favorable, Jehovah, unto thy land. Thou hast turned the captivity of Jacob. Thou hast forgiven the iniquity of thy people. Thou hast covered all their sin, Selah. Thou hast withdrawn all thy wrath. Thou hast turned from the fierceness of thine anger. Bring us back, O God of our salvation, and cause thine indignation towards us to cease. Wilt thou be angry with us forever? Wilt thou draw out thine anger from generation to generation? Wilt thou not revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee? Shew us thy loving kindness, O Jehovah, and grant us thy salvation. I will hear what God, Jehovah, will speak, for he will speak peace unto his people and to his godly ones. But let them not turn again to folly. Surely his salvation is nigh them that fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. Loving kindness and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from the heavens. Jehovah also will give what is good, and our land shall yield its increase. Righteousness shall go before him, and shall set his footsteps on the way. End of Psalm 85.
Psalm 86 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Public Domain Scholar. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd Book, Psalm 86, a prayer of David. Incline thine ear, Jehovah, answer me, for I am afflicted and needy. Keep my soul, for I am godly. O thou my God, save thy servant, who confideth in thee. Be gracious unto me, O Lord, for unto thee do I call all the day. Rejoice the soul of thy servant, for unto thee, Lord, do I lift up my soul. For thou, Lord, art good, and ready to forgive, and art of great loving kindness unto all that call upon thee. Give ear, O Jehovah, unto my prayer, and attend to the voice of my supplications. In the day of my distress I will call upon thee, for thou wilt answer me. Among the gods there is none like unto thee. Lord, O there is nothing like unto thy works. All nations whom thou hast made shall come and worship before thee, O Lord, and shall glorify thy name. For thou art great, and dost wondrous things. Thou art God, thou alone. Teach me thy way, Jehovah. I will walk in thy truth. Unite my heart to fear thy name. I will praise thee, O Lord my God, with my whole heart, and I will glorify thy name forevermore. For great is thy loving kindness toward me, and thou hast delivered my soul from the lowest Sheol. O God, the proud are risen against me, and the assembly of the violent seek after my soul, and they have not set thee before them. But thou, Lord, art a God, merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abundant in goodness and truth. Turn toward me, and be gracious unto me. Give thy strength unto thy servant, and save the son of thine handmaid. Shew me a token for good, that they which hate me may see it and be ashamed. For thou, Jehovah, hast helped me and comforted me. End of Psalm 86.
Psalm 87 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Albert Kimball. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, Third Book, Psalm 87. Of the sons of Korah, a psalm, a song. His foundation is in the mountains of holiness. Jehovah loveth the gates of Zion more than all the habitations of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of God. Selah. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon among them that know me. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia. This man was born there, and of Zion it shall be said, this one and that one was born in her, and the Most High himself shall establish her. Jehovah will count when he inscribeth the peoples, this man was born there. Selah. As well the singers as the dancers shall say, all my springs are in thee. End of Psalm 87. Psalm 88 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Albert Kimball. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, Third Book, Psalm 88. A song, a psalm for the sons of Korah, to the chief musician upon Mahalath Leanoth, an instruction of Heman the Ezrahite. Jehovah, God of my salvation, I have cried by day and in the night before thee. Let my prayer come before thee. Incline thine ear unto my cry. For my soul is full of troubles, and my life draweth nigh to Sheol. I am reckoned with them that go down into the pit. I am as a man that hath no strength. Prostrate among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom thou rememberest no more, and who are cut off from thy hand. Thou hast laid me in the lowest pit, in dark places, in the deeps. Thy fury lieth hard upon me, and thou hast afflicted me with all thy waves. Selah. Thou hast put my familiar friends far from me. Thou hast made me an abomination unto them. I am shut up, I cannot come forth. Mine eye consumeth by reason of affliction. Upon thee, Jehovah, have I called every day. I have stretched out my hands unto thee. Wilt thou do wonders to the dead? Shall the shades arise and praise thee? Selah. Shall thy loving kindness be declared in the grave, thy faithfulness in destruction? Shall thy wonders be known in the dark, and thy righteousness in the land of forgetfulness? But as for me, Jehovah, I cry unto thee, and in mourning my prayer cometh before thee. Why, O Jehovah, castest thou off my soul? Why hidest thou thy face from me? I am afflicted and aspiring from my youth up. I suffer thy terrors, and I am distracted. Thy fierce anger hath gone over me. Thy terrors have brought me to naught. They have surrounded me all the day like water. They have compassed me about together. Lover and associate hast thou put far from me. My familiar friends are darkness. End of Psalm 88.
Psalm number 89 of the Darby Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Krista Thomas. Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, Third Book, Psalm 89. An instruction of Ethan the Ezrahite. I will sing of the loving kindness of Jehovah forever. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness from generation to generation. For I said, loving kindness shall be built up forever. In the very heavens wilt thou establish thy faithfulness. I have made a covenant with mine elect. I have sworn unto David my servant. Thy seed will I establish forever, and build up thy throne from generation to generation. Selah. And the heavens shall celebrate thy wonders, O Jehovah, and thy faithfulness in the congregation of the saints. For who in the heaven can be compared to Jehovah? Who among the sons of the mighty shall be likened to Jehovah? God is greatly to be feared in the council of the saints, and terrible for all that are round about him. Jehovah, God of hosts, Who is like unto thee, the strong Jah? And thy faithfulness is round about thee. Thou rulest the pride of the sea. When its waves arise, thou stillest them. Thou hast crushed Rahab as one that is slain. Thou hast scattered thine enemies with the arm of thy strength. Thine are the heavens, the earth also is thine. The world and its fullness, thou hast founded them. The north and the south, thou hast created them. Tabor and Hermon triumph in thy name. Thine is the arm of might, strong is thy hand, high is thy right hand. Righteousness and judgment are the foundation of thy throne. Loving kindness and truth go before thy face. Blessed is the people that know the shout of joy. They walk, O Jehovah, in the light of thy countenance. In thy name are they joyful all the day, and in thy righteousness are they exalted. For thou art the glory of their strength, and in thy favor our horn shall be exalted. For Jehovah is our shield, and the Holy One of Israel our King. Then thou spakest in vision of thy Holy One, and saidst, I have laid help upon a mighty one. I have exalted one chosen out of the people. I have found David my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established, and mine arm shall strengthen him. No enemy shall exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. But I will beat down his adversaries before his face, and will smite them that hate him. And my faithfulness and my loving kindness shall be with him, and by my name shall his horn be exalted. And I will set his hand in the sea, and his right hand in the rivers. He shall call unto me, Thou art my Father, my God, and the rock of my salvation. And as to me, I will make him firstborn, the highest of the kings of the earth. My loving kindness will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. And I will establish his seed forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. If his sons forsake my law, and walk not in mine ordinances, if they profane my statutes, and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgression with the rod, and their iniquity with stripes. Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor belial my faithfulness. My covenant will I not profane, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Once have I sworn by my holiness, I will not lie unto David. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. It shall be established forever as the moon, and the witness in the sky is firm. Selah. But thou hast rejected and cast off. Thou hast been very wroth with thine anointed. Thou hast made void the covenant of thy servant. Thou hast profaned his crown to the ground. Thou hast broken down all his hedges. Thou hast brought his strongholds to ruin. All that pass by the way plunder him. He is become a reproach to his neighbors. Thou hast exalted the right hand of his oppressors. Thou hast made all his enemies to rejoice. Yea, thou hast turned back the edge of his sword, and hast not made him stand in the battle. Thou hast made his brightness to cease, and cast his throne down to the ground. The days of his youth hast thou shortened. Thou hast covered him with shame. Selah. How long, Jehovah, wilt thou hide thyself forever? Shall thy fury burn like fire? Remember, as regards me, what life is. Wherefore hast thou created all the children of men to be vanity? What man liveth and shall not see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the power of Sheol? Selah. Where, Lord, are thy former loving kindness, which thou swarest unto David in thy faithfulness? Remember, Lord, the reproach of thy servants, that I bear in my bosom, that of the mighty peoples, wherewith thine enemies, O Jehovah, have reproached, wherewith they have reproached the footsteps of thine anointed. Blessed be Jehovah for evermore. Amen and amen. End of the Darby Bible, Book of Psalms, 3rd book.